Every year, in one of the most secluded hotels in Europe or North America, under total security and behind armored doors, no more than 130 people gather. But this isn't just a meeting. This is a conclave of the most powerful people on the planet. Politicians who make fateful decisions. Businessmen who control global finance. Bankers who print the money. Royal family members whose names are spoken with reverence. CEOs of corporations that dictate what we eat, what we watch, and what we read. But there are no press conferences, no official transcripts, no public records. The participants' names are classified. This isn't a movie plot. This is the Bilderberg meeting. And what happens there is not for the eyes and ears of the general public. This is the world's kitchen, and only the head chefs are allowed inside. What is the Bilderberg Group? The first Bilderberg meeting took place in 1954 at the Hotel de Bilderberg in Oosterbeek, Netherlands. The initiator was Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, a former member of the Nazi Party and SS officer. The official goal was to foster transatlantic dialogue between Europe and the US during the height of the Cold War. But since then, this meeting has evolved into something far greater than informal discussions. The attendees are the crème de la crème on a global scale. These aren't mid-level bureaucrats. This is heads of state and former presidents who shape foreign policy. Presidents of the IMF, the World Bank, NATO, institutions that define the global rules of the game. Owners and CEOs of Google, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, the architects of our digital future. Chairs of the largest banking groups, like Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan Chase. Heads of media empires that shape public opinion. Members of royal families whose influence is immeasurable. The guest lists are strictly confidential and limited. Security is at the level of a state summit, often involving special forces and closing the airspace. The press is categorically forbidden, and the few independent journalists who have tried to infiltrate or obtain information have either disappeared from the public eye or permanently lost access to this world kitchen. The rule of silence, the unbreakable law. One of the main principles of Bilderberg is the so-called Chatham House Rule. It sounds harmless. Participants are free to use the information received, but may not disclose the identity of the speaker. But in practice, this creates a perfect vacuum of accountability. No recordings. No public reports. No way to fact-check. Imagine, during an informal chat by the fireplace, the Prime Minister of a major nation, the CEO of a global corporation, and the head of an international bank can agree on fundamental things, and you will never officially know about it. No parliament, no elected body will be informed. This is no longer just an elite club. This is a platform for quiet global deals that change the rules of the game for all of us. What is really discussed behind closed doors? The official themes of the meetings always sound noble and neutral. Global issues like artificial intelligence, climate change, economic stability, and international security. But there is one major nuance that all researchers notice. Following certain Bilderberg meetings, with astonishing regularity, pivotal events occur in the world. New wars and armed conflicts are launched. Governments collapse as a result of political or economic crises. New financial instruments are created that shift the markets. Global economic crises or unexpected market crashes begin. Emergency laws are introduced in individual countries. Coincidence? You be the judge. In 2008, right after the group's meeting, the global financial crisis began. In 2014, shortly after their discussions, the conflict in Ukraine erupted. In 2019, a whole group of leaders from biotech companies and pharmaceutical giants were present, and a few months later, the COVID-19 pandemic swept the world. Who's who in this club of the elected? Among the known guests over the years, Henry Kissinger, one of the brains behind American geopolitics, architect of many international processes. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft and one of the most influential philanthropists in global health. Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon and Blue Origin. Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Meta, Facebook. Emmanuel Macron, President of France. Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, former German Defense Minister. George Soros, financier and hedge fund manager. Christine Lagarde, President of the European Central Bank. Leaders of The Economist, Financial Times, CNN. Some say it is at these meetings that the next prime minister, president, or head of NATO is essentially cast. This isn't a discussion. This is an audition for the lead roles in the geopolitical theater. Conspiracy theory or conspiratorial reality. Critics argue that the Bilderberg Group is effectively the shadow government of the planet. A group that is not accountable to any parliament, is not elected by the people, yet influences the fates of nations, millions of people, currencies, and corporations, decides who will be destroyed and who will receive trillions. Some researchers explicitly call Bilderberg the main pillar of the globalist dictatorship, often referred to as the New World Order. What do we know about the backroom themes? According to leaked sources, the theme of population control through digital identification, the implementation of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, the intensification of internet censorship, the role of private media in shaping the desired worldview, the transition to green control, using climate policy to influence industry and consumption, the creation of a universal basic income, but under specific conditions. Officially, this is care for humanity, but some say this is a global system of soft slavery. What if you disagree? Politicians who, after attending the meeting, openly opposed the club's perceived decisions quickly lost their positions. There were those who disappeared or died under mysterious circumstances. For example, Swedish Prime Minister Olof Palme was assassinated after criticizing closed elites. Some journalists who tried to reach the Bilderberg meeting were involved in non-lethal accidents. Others, after being invited to the meeting, suddenly received top positions in international structures. Is Bilderberg just a club of intellectuals who want a better future? Or is it the modern Senate of the Empire, managing the planet from the shadows? They don't hide, but they don't show themselves either, because their power lies in silence. And now a question for you. What does democracy truly mean if the most critical decisions are made behind doors to which you and I will never have the key? The next topic is even deeper. Do 300 families really run the world? And who is on their list? Stay with us. It's only going to get darker.